I am fascinated by bees. I want you to be a friend of all. When I was in West Australia, in our yard, we had about 5 of these hives. Have you ever seen them? It just goes bzzz, and we had to actually get somebody to come in, shake them into a hive and take them away. Our next door neighbour had them all around his house, and they got down in between the cladding on the house. But they worked, and we would see these bees going zip, and then they'd come back and they'd zip, and all day long from these hives and the one next door, these bees would be buzzing all around. It was like living in a giant beehive. Now, there's all different types of bees. Now, there's about 2,000 different species of bees. That's amazing. Now, when I was little, this is Australian native bees. Now, they're only a little, they're almost like a fly. They're very small, and the honey is very sweet. Very different, huh? Now, the thing that amazes me about bees is they all have their place and their role. There are queen bees. Queen bees, they lay the eggs and they make sure that they produce more bees, because bees don't live very long. The queen bee is bigger than all the rest. And then you have drone bees. Now, drone bees just flap their wings all day long, flap, 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 and that's all they do. And cool it down, they tend and make sure there's like wax to go around and lay new eggs in for the queen, and they look after the hive. Did you know, boys and girls, they don't even have a sting? Now, on top of that, there are these other bees. Who loves bees? Or some of us are a bit scared because we're a bit scared that they might sting us. Did you know when a bee stings somebody, they don't want to sting anybody, because their main role is to look after their community. They will go 8 to about 12 kilometres they will fly to find hives. And when they come back, they don't keep it to themselves. They'll actually do a bit of a dance, and they'll tell the rest of the hive where the honey is. Did you know that? I think that is amazing. So it depends on the dance. If they do a bit of a wobble round dance, it's under about, so if they're just doing a circular dance, then it's within about 30 metres. Now, if the pollen is further than that, a long way away, they will do a dance. And when they land on the honeycomb, they will actually orientate themselves to the sun so that the other bees can tell which direction the actual honey is. So they share what they've got, and they actually share it with everybody else. So everything the bees do in this hive is to help other people. Now, when you put honey, a teaspoon of honey, so this is a teaspoon of honey, a teaspoon of honey actually takes a bee to actually visit around 4,200 flowers. That's a lot of flowers, isn't it? And do you know, this is a kilogram of honey. It's from New Zealand. You imagine how many times around New Zealand a bee would have to fly to get that. I suppose they get dizzy because it's a bit smaller than Australia. But did you know, to get this kilo of honey, it takes, well, about 6 million flowers they have to visit to get this kilo. 6 million flowers, boys and girls. And they have to travel 6 times around the world. That's how long and dedicated these bees are. But all of this is to produce honey to help their community survive. Boys and girls, a bee has a brain about the size of the tip of this pen. See the tip of the pen? About the size of the tip of the pen. Not very big, huh? And yet, God made it so that it looks out for its community. What about you? You have a big brain. We live in a community, your family, your school community, your broader community, but we're also global citizens. We look at our whole world. So I want you to think with your big brain that is hundreds of times bigger than a bee's. What can you do for your community? Because I think we all have a role. We mightn't be a queen bee that does and is the provider and makes sure everything goes well, or the drone bee who just keeps us cool and can't defend, or we might be the defender, and the one that goes out and gets the honey, brings it back and makes sure everybody survives. The world is bigger than just yourself, boys and girls, and I want to challenge you to use your brain to look at how you can serve and be a person that actually helps and cares for the people around them. You know, this is our challenge, isn't it? I think we can get a little bit focused on ourselves and just the immediate things around us. But I know you have a big brain and God's created you very special. And you can do amazing things in your community, in your family, in your school, and in the world around. And I want to challenge you to look and see how you can be a helper bee, one that actually sacrifices and cares for the people around them.
That clip was so good. If you like that as much as me, you will like the rest of our stuff. So make sure you get the bell on, man. Get the bell on and check out these videos.